cry for help.
He was a very controlling, manipulating man.
But no one hears you.
We just knew how dangerous he was.
Crystal Evans just divorced her husband last week. In court, a friend asked if Crystal could get escorted to her car.
They did not send anyone out. She walked out by herself and he shot her.
Multiple times, killing her. A lot of people placing the blame on the courthouse staff and police.
They did nothing.
But this Georgia sheriff is making waves on social media. What he said about the victim and her family that has the small town outraged. The signs were there. Look what Crystal Evans wrote on her Facebook page, August 3rd, 2024. Quote, "It's sad that I have to walk around terrified for my life and my children's. I know if something happens to me, please know who did it. This man has said numerous times that he's going to kill me. I am posting and trying to leave a paper trail." End quote. Then on August 17th, a Ring camera image. Quote, "Tom Mallory, stay away from us. You are a sick man. Leave us alone." End quote. And then just last Thursday, the day before she took him to court, quote, "Dude, please leave me alone. It's over. Move on with your life."
I mean, she literally called the day before because he was stalking her.
Precious Evans says her mom was just granted a permanent order of protection against her father, Tom Mallory, on Wednesday, September 11th. But by Friday, September 13th, Evans says that the two were back in court because her dad was accused of forging financial documents. She says that he was to turn himself in on forgery charges on Monday. Precious, she went to court to support her mom.
So afterwards, I waited outside for her for a little bit. But, it kind of was just taking a little minute. And I had a 12 o'clock appointment I had to go to.
She says a family friend was also there.
Her friend let the clerk, let the people know, like, hey, can you have someone escort her out when she comes out because we're about to leave.
But Precious says that never happened.
It fell on deaf ears.
She says that the court clerk never relayed the message. She says that her mom, who's a busy real estate entrepreneur, left on her own accord alone. She got in her car in the courthouse parking lot across the street.
I probably wasn't even home 5 minutes. My godmother called me back probably a minute later, and she's like, your mom is screaming. My dad had shot my mom at the courthouse.
And he sped off in his car. Deputies, they heard the shots and chased him for a short time before he shot himself in the head.
From what I have heard from the doctor and things, that he is going to survive. He shot himself in the jaw.
Crystal Evans wasn't that fortunate. She died from her injuries.
To me, this is something that could have very much been prevented, down from the judge all the way down to the sheriff department.
And that's why Evans is fighting so hard. She says law enforcement, they knew the circumstances.
My mom has called the sheriff a total of 3 times of him threatening her. Him, threatening that he's going to kill her.
In these court documents, we found records dating back to 2022. Crystal filing 2 different protective orders against her estranged husband. Quote, Tom tried to barricade Crystal in her home to keep her from leaving. He also forged a deed to her house using her stolen notary stamp on the document. He then told her that he was going to kill her and kill himself, and that he wanted his daughter to have a home when he was gone.
We just knew how dangerous he was.
In February 2023, another order of protection filed, Crystal claiming that Tom got a key to one of her properties and let himself in. When confronted, he used a PVC and pipe cutter to, quote, cut the water, power, and Wi-Fi cords, damaging the meter box in the process. That same night, he then, quote, slid under the house where he listened to her conversations and verbally said, acting like a white expletive, that I'm gonna have to kill, end quote. It's a wish that Evans says he selfishly fulfilled.
My mom was such a giving, nice person. There was not a mean bone in her body whatsoever. So I just want justice for my mom where the ball was dropped.
In the past, we have received multiple calls to the Mallory's residence. Both would claim that the other started the fight. On occasions where witnesses were present and interviewed by deputies, they said that they didn't see anything or said it didn't happen like it was described by either Mr. or Mrs. Mallory. I cannot speak about a judge's decision or orders. No one is picking one person over the other or believing one over the other. Deputies don't have the option to arrest based on who has the most followers. That's not how it works. Do improvements need to be made to the law? Yes, they do. Maybe it wasn't a deputy or my agency that failed. Maybe it was the law itself. By the way, the deputies that allegedly refused to escort her are the same ones that removed her from the car, tried to control the bleeding, and tried to save her life. End quote.